As I'm sure many, if not all of you have heard, a few people in Chicago recently kidnapped a young man who is reported to have special needs of some sort and kept him captive for what may have been as long as 48 hours. On Tuesday, the clearly inebriated kidnappers used Facebook to livestream themselves doing this to him.
Yo, bro, great.
Cut this shit, cut no.
Why y'all?
No, cause I got my blood on this shit, bro. Hey, cut this off. Smack his ass, baby. Smack his ass again. Smack pancake ass, rabbit ass nigga. Fuck, cut his motherfucking head off.
Oh shit, boy.
Damn, you cut his shit.
I put a whole patch out of this shit, boy.
Let me see. Ooh, that bitch gone.
Hey, on this the ashtray, G. What you mean?
On this womb. Hey, shout out to PBG. Shout out to PBG. Them niggas real.
Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, it was a few black people who kidnapped a white guy. But you're not supposed to find that to be significant. You're just not. Even after you hear the shouts of "fuck white people" as the bound victim is traumatized.
Fuck Donald Trump, nigga. Fuck white people, boy.
Fuck them, bitch.
Boy.
And please, keep ignoring that thought as you hear one of the black people torturing this white man make what sounds to me like a reference to slavery, 400 years being a common rough time frame people use, although I can't quite tell all of what she's saying.
The 400 years gonna stop 2 years ago.
Another thing you're not meant to think too hard about is the idea that there might be political motivation behind this. They're just stupid kids who've made a mistake. Nothing more. Never mind any clips that sort of sound like they're saying their victim represents Trump before being cut off by another voice.
Hey, this nigga right here,
He represents Trump.
this PBG hothead. Hey, this
Sorta looks to me like they're trying to send a message by doing this, but who knows. If I am going to snark at people's reactions, let's be fair though. On the other side of things, you'd also better make sure to call this the Black Lives Matter BLM kidnapping, even though they make no mention of the hashtag or movement in the video. Never mind that trying to do a smear job on a movement you oppose gives your opponents an easy way to deflect and shift focus away from what happened and onto your smear attempt. That is, unless you have something that provides a rock-solid connection, which maybe there is and I've just missed, but I'm not seeing people sharing anything like that, and I'd expect they would. Never mind either that if you're going to suggest BLM represents every black person, and every black person represents BLM, you know, by pinning it on the movement just because it's black people doing something racist, and not because there's any clear evidence connecting them and what they've done to the movement or any of its key figures, you're essentially working to hand more power to a movement you hate. You can argue influence from BLM, but to try to make full blame stick is not only apparently wrong, but strategically brain dead, unless you just want to make a mess, in which case, carry on. The video's blurry. Its quality is crap. The people talking have been drinking. Nothing I can hear is about BLM, but there is still much that can be extracted if you look and listen carefully. Some parts almost make it sound like the man they attacked disrespected them somehow, messed with this PBG rapper dude or something. Someone better with slang and drunk slurred speech than me would have to give it a listen to figure that out though. Here's something I noticed in the chaos that I haven't personally seen mentioned anywhere. One of the kidnappers, out of shot, sounds like she's saying, "He deserves it because he's from Europe," before continuing to ramble on.
His ass deserve it. His ass from Europe.
Although she isn't pictured while saying it, I believe the one speaking is this woman. Pretty sure she's the one who mentioned 400 years too. Her Facebook is quite easy to find and, in fact, she seems to have taken a picture in front of the same blinds that are behind her in the video. She made this post on the 2nd. Black Nigerian princess. It seems she was Kang, and clearly cares about ancestral origin in terms of race. Seems also to have said the person they're hurting deserves it because he's European, I believe meaning white when she says that. She made a reference to slavery, and some significant people are going to try to brush away claims that racial motivation is involved here? Wow. Okay. See, I'm not a huge fan of the idea of hate crimes. But if you are, surely you have a solid case for one here. I mean, it's on tape and it's pretty blatantly obvious to me that the guy's been targeted for his race. Isn't that what makes a normal crime into a hate crime? What more could they possibly have said while abusing this vulnerable guy to make that any clearer? Really, what would they have to have said? Luckily, as far as I can tell, this is being dealt with just fine by law enforcement, in spite of some worrying comments downplaying what happened coming from police. They're being charged with a ton of stuff. I think everything they should be charged with. On top of that, President Obama himself has referred to what he saw in the video as apparently being a hate crime.
The internet, horrific hate crimes of the sort that we appear to have seen
on Facebook. Yeah, what is your reaction to that, actually, to that Facebook video?
It's terrible.
So the really serious stuff is, at the very least, going far better than it could have. But everything else, the talk surrounding it, the stuff I tend to focus on, with a few exceptions, outlines what a fucking mess we're in. What I mean by that is, for example, today I read a piece called "The BLM Kidnapping Hashtag Shows If Black People Want Equality, They Just Have to Be Perfect," that effectively turned black people as a group into the victim of a white guy being kidnapped, which, to be fair, the writer was only able to do because the other side of this is so focused on pinning it on Black Lives Matter. Fuck me. What a whirlpool of shit leading to more shit this is. Oh well. At least we can all come together in agreement when it comes to the latest YouTube racist. Some guy called PewDiePie. Real nasty piece of work, I've heard. Let's take a look at this disturbing clip that has certain parts of the internet up in arms at the moment.
18, nigga. Go right after Beckham, huh?
Wait, the fuck? That's what 35,000 plus tweets were made about. 35,000 plus times people thought of something to say about that. He said nigga, not nigger, and he barely even said it, and it was clipped off at the end. And your upset won't even touch him. Bloody hell. That's all for today, for the sake of my blood pressure. By now you know the deal, links to my other stuff in the description. Make sure to tell me how racist I am and how much you hate my race in the comments, all that good stuff. And until next time, that's just another one of my... This doesn't really fit the end of these videos, does it? I'm meant to make a snappy point and then close with that line. I'll have to think of something else for these ones. Until I do though, bye-bye.